Hello everyone, welcome back to the another Nuke tutorial, and this time we are going to create this energy effect inside Nuke using Nuke particle system only. So this is going to be very interesting to see how you can easily create this effect using a simple particle nodes in Nuke. So let's see how this is done. Alright, as you can see on my screen, this is the entire comp of this shot and this is the action VFX footage. Obviously you guys already know that. So I will quickly show you the output and we will dive into the Nuke script, and I will also show you the particle setup, how I create this particle setup and how I comp this entire shot. And obviously you will get this file on my Patreon. If you want the entire project file, it will be available on my Patreon. Let's see how this is done. So this is the final comp. So as you can see, there are 3 stages where you can see the particles, and this is the last one and where the particle is rotating as well. So I will show you how I create that rotation also, and this comp. So if I go up, so this is the comp. We will take a look at this one later, but first let's see the particle system. So this is the particle system. As you can see, I created these I think 4 or 5 particles asset. So the way I'm using this particle system to create an asset. So the way I'm using this particle system is to create a element. It's like a stock element. So I'm creating a particle stock element in a 2K, and then I'm using that one in my comp to make this to create this look dev. So all these lines and glows and many things are done in 2D. I have rendered few particles here one by one. This is like my asset. So you can see the format. You can see the format is 2K, and if I play this one, so this is the first one, and similarly this is the second one and third, very similar, and this is the fourth one also. So this is little different one, but you can see the rotation. So for the rotation I try this one also. This is the second attempt, and in this one I use this one, but I will also provide you this fourth one. If you want, you can use that. So this is the rotation one, you can see, and this rotation is matching with the plate. So I merge the plate here to match the rotation while I'm previewing this particle system. As you can see, this will take a lot of time because there are many particles in this scene. Let's see one by one. I will quickly show you the basic structure of the particle system, then we will see the whole comp. So first I will show you this comp, this look. So you can see it's very quick, so you can use this one. Okay, so first I will show you this particle system. If you notice, all the particle setups are very similar. I mean, it's exactly same setup. There are a few nodes here and there, and some settings I changed to get the look. So let's see the one by one. So first thing, you need to take a particle emitter like that, and there are many parameters here. We don't need to worry about all these things. We just need to worry about few parameters only. So the emitter, we need to give this emitter some sort of place some sort of geometry to emit particle from it. In this case, I give him a sphere. So this is the sphere, and I displace this sphere, and I also animated this sphere like this. So to get the animation, you can use this node, displace geo. So I use this 2D noise and it's animated, and this node you can find in the Nuke Survival Toolkit. So you can use this one to do this type of animation, and then I use this as an emitter, and this is my emitter. So I will quickly connect this one, the new one, and immediately you will see particle will come up like this. So to reduce the particle velocity, because they are emitting very fast, you can see. So I will just go to the velocity here and make it 0.1 or maybe less, and emission rate means how many particle will spawn in every frame. So you can see the particles now. Because of the velocity is very low, you can see they are very emitting, and they are disappearing very fast, because there is this parameter called max life. So they are only one particle life is only 10 frames. So now the particle life now is 20 frames. So if I make it 30, now the one particle will remain 30 frames and then it will disappear. But in this case, we will keep the 10 frame, and you can see the playback is very fast. So, and you can reduce the particle size here. So you can reduce the particle size like this, and it will reduce the particle size. Now this is just very simple way we need to just add a particle and we can do this. In my setup, what I did, I animate the particle rate. Initially the particle is 0, and in frame 5 I increase the particle like 50,000. okay, and you can see my particle life is 15 frames only, and the velocity and everything is 0 0. So now particle will only emit, and the particle size is very small, and they will emit and they will stay in the same place and they just disappear like this, because the emitted particle in one frame like 50,000, and in the next frame it will be 0. That's it. For the particle I use just a roto and simple roto, and you need to add this blend mat if you are using a custom particle like what I'm using here. I'll just plug this particle, and you can because this roto, you can change the roto shape and your particle will be look like this. So if I view from here, if I zoom in, now you can see my particle is looking exactly that shape. Okay, but in this case I want a circle shape, so I'm keeping the circle shape. Now this is because of the geo we have getting this interesting shape, right? We will use some particles node to manipulate this particle and get a nice animation with this system. So the way I did this, first I add this particle point force. So what this allow us to do, it will create a force and in a point way, in a circle way. So if I open this one, you can see this is a big sphere and it's just forcing the particle to go outward in a circle shape like this. And I play with the parameters here. You can play around how you want. So I use this inverse square and radius is 4.3 like that. And then this is the node which is giving us this animation. Okay, this is called the particle turbulence. So if I play this one, you can see now the particles is very fast. So in this particle turbulence, I created this custom user knob, and this knob I am driving in the offset. So I'm basically animating particle in a Z space very fast. So and because the particle is very fast, we need to reduce the speed, but there is no way you can reduce the speed here. All right. So the way we need to reduce the speed to slow down the particle, you can use this particle drag. So now if I play, you can see they are much in a control way, right? And you can see how this noise is look like. So if I off this turbulence, this is the actual turbulence giving us this noisy pattern in the particle, and it looks very good. See, so this is exactly what we need. If I increase the particle drag, so the particle drag is basically adding a drag in the air, so the particle will slow down. So as you can see, now the drag is like 0.3. So if I increase like maybe 6, and if I play now, you will see they are much closer, more control, and they are not going very far away. And this is how you can do. But I will do the undo, and this is the particle drag. Now then I again add a particle point force. So now if I play, you will see I'm adding a bit more to open up the center part, because I want to see in the center part a bit more. Now they are away from the center little bit. And now this is the very cool node. This is called particle color age. So what this will do, it will assign a color based on the particle life. If I go from here in the 3D, then you can see these colors, I guess. Let's see. So I assigned a red, green, blue and alpha, and I will tell you why I did that. We just need a particle, and red, green, blue is our information, so we can use this in the comp. Now you can see I will just play this one. So this is exactly the same one. So this particle color by age give us this color. So if the particle is born like this is a new particle, it will become a red, and as the particle get older, it will change the color over time, and you will see this nice effect. So the particle is changing their color by its own based on the particle life. All these particles you will find in this particle tab here, but for this particle color by age, you will find here. If you go to the Blink script gizmos, you will find here, I guess. Yeah, this one you can see particle color by age. So here there are a lot of nodes. I will encourage you to check all these nodes and expand with these. It will definitely give you a much more good result and much more complex particle system you can create using these Blink script nodes. So but I use very basic nodes here to create this setup, and then I render this one with the motion blur. All right, so show you what I mean. So let's go to this frame. You can see there are motion blur. If I view no motion blur, I will show you how this is look like. So this is the particle look without any motion blur. So the motion blur is playing very important role when it's come to the final particle system. You can see they are looking very nice, and just this is because we have a motion blur. Obviously there are this noise and everything is driving this animation, but the motion blur is very important when you doing this type of particle system. The way I did this, I use this multi-sampling, and I just crank this to 50. 50 is a lot heavier, but it will give you much nicer result. So just to preview, I'm just making it 10, and you can see how this is going. And if I compare with the 50, you can see there are a lot of changes, right? The particle in the 10 we can easily see this stepping, right? But in the 51 we can still see, but it's very less compared to the 10. When you doing a final render, make sure you increase to 50 or something higher to give you a much nice particle motion blur. The second thing will come in your mind, why we are not using this motion vector and drive this motion blur using vector blur. I tried that. It's giving me some artifact because these particles are very tiny, and if you are doing with the motion pass, it will give you some artifact. So it's better to use this scanline render multi-sampling. So this is the best way to add a motion blur in my opinion. So for this stage I'm just keeping it 10, and as I said, I'm rendering everything in 2K. So I created this asset. So now I have this asset. So similarly I created this other asset also. So in this one you can see the particles are going this direction, right? The left side. How I did this? So it's very similar, the same particle setup. The only thing I change, I add this particle direction force. So this is like you can add a direction, so the particle it's like a wind. You can call this is a wind. So similarly till here setup is same. This is the particle, and if I add this direction force, now I'm adding a force to this negative x size. So now, and same color particle by age, same node, and this scanline render with multi-sampling 50. I'm just making it 10 to show you the view here. And if I play this one, now the particle is moving in a direction. You can create this type of asset. Now you can see they are moving this direction. So this is just one node and everything is same. I'm just copy pasting this entire setup to add some variation to create some more particle assets so I can use in my comp. So that is the whole idea. Alright, so this last one is very interesting because it's a rotating particle. The same setup, nothing changed. I'm just play around with the particle, and you can see there are more few things going on here. So this is just because I changed some setting in the particles, especially in the turbulence. Everything is same, and here also, and particle drag till here everything is same. I just change this particle offset. This is like I'm moving a 3D noise in a 3D space, like offsetting the noise. That's it, and it's animating over time because I have this expression here. So this expression like a frame multiplying this double, and this double means this slider, and this slider value is 0.2. So it's animating over time, and we get this, right? And similarly point direction, particle, color by age, and at the end I have this geo transform. So this geo transform is rotating this entire particle system. So if I play, you can see I added a few keyframes, and how I know where to rotate. So that's why I plug this. Let me just reduce the sample. So that's why I plug this plate. I'm viewing from the plate. I'm just transforming to align it in the hand, and based on the hand animation I rotate it here. So if I play, and I offsetted this to align where my particle is. So that's not the point. The point is I'm rotating based on this hand animation, and that's how I animate this particle, and then I render it down. So if I view from here, you can see now. So this is the way particle is rotating, and you can see it looks like this. So this is the asset, and this is the setup, guys. It's very simple. You just need to add a particle emitter, so the particle will spawn from that place. And if you want, you can add a custom particle, or you can just leave this. You don't need to plug this particle. The default particle without connecting this one, it will be generating in a circle way. So if you connect this one, it will use your plate. it's not required to add this particle input, and all others are very simple, simple nodes, just particle force. You just need to experiment, that's it. That's the whole point. I mean, you just need to experiment, but I will give you this basic idea, how to set up this particle. Once I created this asset, I did a very simple slab comp. I created a stamp for each and every particle, and I did a slab comp. So in the slab comp, you can see what I did. I just placed the particle in a place so I can see while it's playing how it's look like. And there are a lot of things I need to do. This third one is like this, but at the end I changed this one because at the end I use many particles here to add that. And here you can see I have this match move because I did a match move. Let me show you the match move also. So this is the tracker, and I track this backside because I want the camera is moving, so I want to capture that movement. So I did a single point track because this is just camera moving xy direction, so there is no parallax or perspective change in this one. So I did a single point track, add this to everywhere, and I did offset to match the hand animation, and this is the very basic slab comp. Let's see the whole comp structure. So the whole comp structure is like we have this plate here, and all these elements are merging one by one in this merge node, and at the end they are merging with the plate. And here are some interactive light based on this element. And at the end we are doing a regrain setup with this task grain. At the top I did a denoise plate, and in my asset I will quickly show you one more thing. I have also created this depth pass. Just like in my previous rain tutorial, I created a depth pass and I'm using the depth pass. So here also I've created this depth pass using the depth anything. You can see it's not perfect, but for the task what we are doing, this is totally fine, and I will show you how I use this depth pass. So you can use this one also. So I use this in to see in the interactive side also only. Okay, so let's see the setup, this comp. So if you notice, all these are very similar, these backdrops, because I'm just copy pasting and just changing few, adding few based on the energy look. This first particle I offset this one and place it according to the shot here. So offset it using the offset node. So it's like offsetting 18 frames. And you remember we have this color variation, right? So I'm using this color variation to add more variation in my final particle. So first I did unpremulting and removing the color completely, because we don't want color here, because we just want a single color, because our plate only have a single color interaction, because there are very nice interaction already there. So we need to maintain that. So just completely removing the color and adding my own color. Alright, and then in this side I'm using this node called hue here. So this node is very interesting because you can select a hue. I know in Nuke we already have a hue here, right? This node. But for my experience, this node is very good, and it will give you very good result. So what I did, I selected the red channel. So let's see where the red particles are. So the red particles only here. So if I view from here and if I show you the alpha, in the few frames particles are gone, but here particles are exist, but because we selected the red channel, the particles are gone in the alpha. So that's the idea of rendering this particles in RGB color. So you can use any channel, any color to create a mask, and you can use in a grid, right? So I did the similar thing for all these nodes. So in this one I'm creating this highlight area in the blue, in the green, and in this one I created, I think, the blue one. Yeah, so the multiple things I did. So let's see one by one, and if I show you at the end, so this is my particle, right? So if I off only these three nodes which I'm using the hue correct, you can see how much difference it's making. Here also. This is the very basic, this is the very common approach. That's why I want to show you, and in the end I'm using just a luma here to boost the highlight like this. So now I will show you what I mean. So this is, if I disable this, you can see when things are getting brighter, they are losing the saturation. So that's why I reduce the saturation in the highlighted area and I boost that one. If I don't do, it will look clumpy. So when something getting too bright, it become a white. So that's the idea. So that's why it will look good when we see in the comp. I will show you quickly. So here you can see this is bright and white. If I remove that, the saturation only, let's see what happens. You can see this is not looking good, right? See, these two nodes is giving this very good look. So make sure if something is getting too bright and too saturated, that means this core need to be white. So that's why I'm using this Luma key here to only pick the highlight area and removing the saturation and adding a bit more brightness like this. So that's the trick. And after this I did a pre-mult, and then I offset and merge this one back. So I offset this particle, same particle. So this is like a 2D element, 2D comp. So you need to think about multiple ways how you can use this same element to add more variation basically. So that is exactly what I'm doing now. This color setup you can see in every here. The same setup I'm just copy pasting. I'm not changing anything. I'm changing after this color correction. After this you can see there are different nodes here. So in this one I did offset and plus it back, so I get more variation. When we play, it will not gonna look empty. You can see here, see I have more variation now. And then I use this node called chord rays, create this, and I'm reducing the amount and plusing back, so you have these lines also. So all these things I did in the comp, not in the particle side, because in Nuke particle you can't do stuff like this. So this is the chord ray, and if I play it looks very good. So you can see we get more detail in the particle. So make sure you use chord rays. So in the chord rays I did nothing. I just move this center point and it will look like this. So I move the center point to center and just scale down like this 0.3, and I did a max operation so I can get a sharp lines. Then I reduce with the multiplier 0.1 and just plus it, and we have this alpha also. And then this is the 2K, right? But we need that plate resolution, right? The plate format. This is like 16:9. So for that, what I did, I first mirror based on the shot, transform it, and again transform it, match move, and then reformat. So you need to add reformat at the end. So you'll see the position will not gonna change. If you do everything after the reformat, you can see the position is changing. So this is wrong. So make sure you always add reformat at the end and do your this what we call transformation and alignment in that area. Let's view where we have this particle. So if I view from here and if I remove this transformation, you can see it will become like this. But the idea is the position will not gonna change. So make sure you do that. After this reformatting, I'm adding this two nodes. So I will just quickly show you this setup. In this one, I'm just animating this grade node. So this grade is driving this opacity basically in and out with the noise. So I have this remove node and I add this noise, and then in the alpha I'm animating this gain. So it will do like this, and I'm using this setup in the multiplier to remove this particle with the noise. So you can see, and if I unplug and you can plug, you can see it will add more variation and it will randomly removing this particle from the scene. So I did the same approach to make the particle visible in the scene. You can see the keyframe is here. So if I play, you can see the particle is slowly coming. It's not fading in. So it's randomly coming based on this noise animation and the noise opacity. So this is like I'm trying different thing to know how to emit particle. I don't want to emit particle in a similar opacity. This particle have a different opacity here, different here based on the noise. So that's the whole idea of doing this instead of directly just doing multiply down without any mask input. And then this is just a roto, just a hand roto, and added a little bit of exponential flow, not much in this one. Can see little bit, and this is the hand roto. That's it. I mean, this is the entire setup. I copy paste in everywhere. Just few things. I mean, this is also a similar setup. You can see it's very similar, and this one also a very similar one. Very similar, just offsetting and just very similar. This one I did a little different setup. I did multiple treatment. So let's see one by one. So till here it's the same thing. Okay, just a color, and here also is offsetting. It's the same thing. But here I did two chord rays. So I will show you the first one. So first one is like I'm taking very highlighted area from this element like this and pre-multing it and doing a chord rays from it. Alright, and just reducing and plusing it over. So I have this very small, only the highlight areas I have chord rays like this. For the second one, I think the similar thing, it's for overall, and I'm doing a outward. You can see they are going outside, not the inside. Before I'm just making it scale down so we can get these lines, right, like this. But now I'm just making it, I'm just increasing the scale so we get a lines going outward. Now I'm cropping it, grading it, and just blur and just multiplying and adding it on top. So adding bit more variation like this. So when you play, you will see all these things. Then here I did a luma key here, remulting this highlighted area, filtering it to making it square, and just reducing opacity and adding on top. So this will like adding these dots, you can see, and it will look good at the end of the comp. Where the line are, you can also have these dots. That's how I added the dots here. And again, same match move reformatting and placing this object. You can see now this dot you can easily see. Even you can blur this one to make them a circle. So if I do this, let's see how this will be done. If I do like 5, now this square dot become a circle. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it, but I think I'm keeping it in a square because at the end it will look correct. And again, just animating the opacity here, and at the here just roto, just cutting the hand. Cool. And then I'm merging them one by one in a same pipe, and then merging at the end. Now we have this. Let me just remove this one. So we have this with the plate. So like this, as you can see, I think I need to do a proper roto, so you can see in the inside also. There are issues with the roto, but I think you guys can refine this one a bit more. If once you get the file, you can just refine this. This is done, and now we need to add the interaction, because this plate already have a nice interaction light. I just want to increase a bit more because now we have this very bright thing here. So I think it need to illuminate the surrounding areas. The face is already illuminated, and I don't want to add a bit more illumination, I guess. So for this one, I created this stamp here because we have a particle here, right? So I created a stamp, and I'm using a depth pass. So again, this is the best use case of depth pass. So I created the depth pass, and I grade my plate. This effect, I blur this one. I add a gamma, and I mask out like this with the depth. I'm taking a noise plate, denoise plate, and I'm multiplying with this color. So now we can see we have nice color, and just removing with the stencil and just plussing this over on the plate. So now we are adding more interaction light, right? Because this element is now here, so this hand need to be very bright, right? So that's why. So the same setup here, and I'm just plussing it here. But here what I'm doing, I'm just picking till here, it's the same setup, but here you can see I'm taking the plate and I'm keying this plate. I'm taking only the brightest area and pre-multing it, and then I'm doing multiply and then removing with the roto, cutting with the roto, and then plussing here. So what this will do, you can see I'm just adding this color on the highlighted area, so it will look very natural. Increase this one, like if I move this one, you can see like this, but I think this is fine, and you need to do that then it will look correct, because if you view from here, you can see these specs need to catch more light than this diffuse color. So that's why I did this second pass. If I disable this first pass is adding a little bit of light in the surrounding area, but the second pass, it will add more light to catch the highlight. So that's the whole point. And then just a normal dark grain, regrain, and just render this one out, and we have this render now. It's not perfect. There are a lot of roto issue here. You guys, I think you guys can refine this one once you have the file. That's it. I mean, see this rotation here also I will show you this comp and this interaction light. See how interaction light is helping. If you want, you can remove from here. I think it's too much here, but I just keep it like this because I just want to show you the use case of particle system. So how you can use a Nuke simple particle system to create some good looking energy effects like this. It's mostly you can create this look, I mean, with a lot of comp tricks and with the help of base particle layer. So now we have this these base particle layers. I will just quickly merge them so we can see it together with the contact sheet. Let's play and see. So these many particles I created. I think few are more frame range. Let's see. Yeah, these two are rotated one. So these are the few particles asset which I created using the Nuke particle system. These two are rotation one because we need that hand rotation, that's why. But you can see it's very similar, just few particle differences, noise differences, animation differences, and little bit of speed differences also. This is the idea, guys. Create your asset using particle system, and then add in your comp and do a lot of comp tricks to make your to make your creative look with the particles. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you understand this particle system, the way I'm using this particle system to create an asset and then using that asset to build my comp like this. You can directly use this one, but I think I like this method. You can see here. Let me show you this first one, and you need to also match the timing here. Here you can see how good this interaction light is coming here. So as I said, if I view from here, this is giving this specular lighting here. And in the hand also you can remove if you want. So I have this roto here which is removing the light. Most of the light is removing, because otherwise it's blown away the light, because otherwise this light is too much for the hand. So I reduce the light, reduce this mask. I mean, there are a lot of things you can do based on your creativity. So I think that's it, guys. So this is the particle system in Nuke. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you understand this particle system, and let me know in the comment what's your thoughts on this one. As I said, the project file is available on my Patreon, so you can download from there. If you want to check the whole comp in detail, if you want to recreate this effect, you can use my project file. And thank you so much for your support, and we will see you in a very next tutorial. So bye.